Welcome back to UX Product Design Mastery. I'm Parm Sangha, and in today's video, we'll provide a comprehensive guide to navigating the UX Whiteboard Design Challenge. This is a critical component in the UX design interviews. We'll offer a step-by-step framework to tackle the challenge, shedding light on how to understand the problem, outlining the user's story, generate solution ideas, sketch critical screens, and summarize the solution. The video also explores the trend towards remote interviews, advises on effective whiteboard space and time management, and offers practical tips for preparation. Okay, so let's get started.
A comprehensive guide to acing the UX Whiteboard Design Challenge. Embarking on the journey to interview for UX designer roles can be exciting, but it can also be nerve-wracking, especially when it comes to the Whiteboard Design Challenge. Usually positioned in the later stages of the interview process, the Whiteboard Design Challenge can seem daunting at first. However, with adequate preparation, you can approach this task with confidence and poise. This guide aims to provide you with an arsenal of tips and best practices to prepare for your next whiteboard design challenge effectively. Understanding the UX Whiteboard Challenge and its significance. In the later stages of the interview process for product design roles, you might be asked to complete a whiteboard challenge. This exercise involves walking through your design process in real time, using a whiteboard and marker. The task might seem intimidating at first, but it's crucial to remember that the exercise is more about your design process and less about the final design. The Whiteboard Challenge is a tool that potential employers use to evaluate your design thinking, problem-solving abilities, and collaborative skills. They want to see if you can think logically and critically about problems, design with the user's needs in mind, go beyond the user interface in your analysis and design, work collaboratively with team members, incorporate constructive feedback into your work, handle stress and manage time effectively. The challenge usually takes place within a limited time frame, typically 30 minutes to an hour. This time constraint adds a layer of pressure, testing your ability to deliver under stress. 5-step framework for navigating the challenge. Each organization creates their whiteboard design interviews differently, with variations in time allocation and design tasks. This unpredictability can add to the challenge. To navigate these unknowns, you should develop an established framework or process to tackle design challenges. The framework is a user flow or a sequential process you can follow, regardless of the problem presented. It guides you towards a successful outcome, helping you organize your thoughts and actions in a structured manner. Step 1. Clarify the challenge. Resist the temptation to start sketching wireframes immediately. Instead, spend the first few minutes of your whiteboard time understanding the design problem. Restate the challenge, and then delve deeper by asking probing questions. Write down any significant answers on the whiteboard. Questions can include: who are the target users? What are their pain points? When, where, and how will they use this design? What are the business objectives? Are there any technical or business constraints I should consider? What device am I designing for? What does a successful outcome look like? By understanding the challenge thoroughly, you can design solutions that keep the user's needs at the forefront. Quick tip: role-playing can be an effective way to clarify the challenge. Ask your interviewer to play the part of a business stakeholder or user. Step 2. Outline the user story. After understanding the challenge and learning more about the target user, spend some time creating a user flow on the whiteboard. This flow should represent the path a user would follow to achieve their goal. If the product has multiple user personas or use cases, choose one to focus on during your design solutions. Be sure to communicate this choice to your interviewer, mentioning the other use cases and explaining why you've selected this one. Step 3. Generate solution ideas. Once the user flow is in place, you can start generating solution ideas. Initially, prioritize quantity over quality to encourage a free flow of ideas. Quick tip: if you find yourself stuck, start sketching. Sometimes, the simple act of putting marker to the board can stimulate your creative thought process. After brainstorming a range of possible solutions, narrow them down to one or two of the most promising options. Use the information you gathered in the first step to guide your decision. Does the solution address user pain points? Is it compatible with any technical or business constraints? Does it fulfill business objectives? Step 4. Sketch the critical screens. Now that you've chosen your best design solution, it's time to sketch the wireframes of the critical screens. As you draw, narrate your thought process to give your interviewers an insight into your strategy. Each screen should correspond with a step in the user flow. Be sure to label them clearly on the whiteboard. Since your time is limited, focus on the primary path a user would take, rather than exploring edge cases. Quick tip: consider the whiteboard challenge as a conversation with the interviewer. Be receptive to their feedback and incorporate it into your design as you progress. And step 5. Summarize your solution. Wrap up the challenge by summarizing your solution. Highlight how it addresses both user needs and business objectives. If time permits, use the extra minutes to discuss other use cases, critique your work, or suggest improvements you would make in future iterations. The shift towards remote interviews. In the era of virtual communication, more companies are choosing to conduct interviews online, foregoing the on-site portion of the interview. In such cases, you may be asked to use an online collaboration tool like Miro or Envision Freehand, or to design on paper with a webcam set up to show your work. Make sure to clarify this process ahead of time so you can practice accordingly. Managing whiteboard space and time. During your whiteboard design challenge, you need to skillfully manage two crucial elements: time and whiteboard space. Setting up your whiteboard. Divide your whiteboard into two halves. Use the left side to note down important information about the challenge and anything you learn while clarifying the challenge. This side is also for outlining your user flow. The right side of the board is for sketching. Start your preliminary idea generating sketches at the top and use the bottom half for the wireframes of your detailed solution. If you need more space, you can erase some of your early sketches. Managing your time. Since you have a time limit, keeping track of time is essential. You can wear a watch or ask the interviewer for a time check periodically. Allocate a specific percentage of time for each step in your framework. For instance, if you have an hour, spend about 20 minutes clarifying the challenge and outlining the user story. Dedicate the next 30 minutes to generating ideas and sketching the critical screens. This leaves you with 10 minutes for summarizing your solution and critiquing your design. How to prepare for a whiteboard challenge. The best way to prepare for the whiteboard challenge is to practice. This will help you internalize your framework and boost your confidence. Here are some tips. Practice with an actual whiteboard. This is different from sketching on paper or in an app. Try solving some sample challenges with a real whiteboard and marker, standing up if possible. Record yourself during practice. Watch the recording to identify when you're talking too much or too little, and whether you're allocating time effectively. Identify your strengths and weaknesses to focus your practice better. Stage mock interviews with design friends. Practicing with others can be more effective than practicing alone. Take turns playing the part of the interviewer and critique each other's presentations. Watch other people's interviews. Search for Whiteboard Challenge on YouTube to find recordings of whiteboard interviews. This can give you a better understanding of what a whiteboard challenge looks like in a real-world scenario. Do your research. Check resources like Glassdoor for any information on how the specific company does whiteboard interviews and the types of questions they might ask. Quick tip: joining a local Toastmasters group or enrolling in a public speaking class can be a great way to build confidence in presenting and speaking in front of others. This can be particularly helpful when dealing with the interactive nature of whiteboard challenges. Embrace the process, not perfection. Feeling the pressure during a whiteboard challenge is normal. After all, if you've made it to this stage, you're among the top candidates under consideration, inching closer to the end of the interview process. Remember, interviewers are not seeking perfection. They are keen to understand your thought process. They want to see how you think, what kind of team member you would be, and the unique skills and perspectives you'd bring to the team. So, don't get tangled in striving for the perfect idea at the expense of showcasing your process and losing valuable time. In conclusion, preparing for a whiteboard design challenge doesn't have to be daunting. With the right mindset, ample practice, and a clear process, you can approach this challenge with confidence, showcasing your design thinking skills and collaboration abilities to potential employers. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. Also, feel free to share your thoughts, questions, or suggestions in the comments section below. I'll be more than happy to engage with you and help you grow as a UX designer.
Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and happy designing.